It's time for something new, and no, I do not mean City Skylines 2. Come along with me as I start fresh in our beloved game using a small collection of mods and assets that I love to create cozy, colorful, fall-inspired places that puts people first. Welcome to Cider River. As I am starting this brand new project in Cities Skylines One, I did want to share with you guys why I'm deciding to continue to play Cities Skylines One, why I'm even deciding to start a project right now with Cities Skylines 2 just around the corner. We're going to get into all of that and my thoughts and feelings around that a little later on. What I wanted to do for this project is actually start at the very edge of the map. We are right at the edge of that lovely vanilla fog that we all know so well. And what I want to do is build along the river all the way through this map, start at one end of the city and work our way to the other. In this map, the rail runs all the way along the river, and that just got me really excited. We are going to be relying heavily on rail for cargo and for public transportation in this project, and I love that it's just running along the entire river through the map. Gets me really excited for the possibilities of all the little towns we're going to be able to build along this river. Plus, I have yet to do a build where the cargo and passenger rail really becomes the grounding element of the whole build, along with the river itself, and I'm very excited for that. I'm using dirt roads as planning roads in this project. I always like to start with dirt roads. They just feel very satisfying to me. They're easy to work with, and then you can just upgrade as you go from there. I can decide, do I want this to be an industrial road, or do I want this to be a bike lane or a pedestrian road? So I just always like starting off with dirt roads, and in a lot of cases I like to keep the dirt roads. They just have like a really good feel to them. I don't know why I find them so incredibly satisfying, but I do. I really like the simple road layout I was able to put together here, and I think already we've got some pretty good connectivity for this small town. Next, I wanted to focus on what will be the town square, and this town is going to be really tiny, so this just really will be like the core area for services and shops, and then the rest of the town will just be residential. So it's really important to me that this town square feels pretty hefty. I like the idea of using the pedestrian roads right in the middle and then just creating a nice design and just anchoring this town with the rail and this little town square. I've gone ahead and hooked up our recreational walking path through the woods. We'll end up hooking this up into other areas in our neighborhood as we expand out to our lovely fog. But I love playing the game like this where I can just pause, take a minute, and do a whole bunch of landscaping and detailing just to make an area feel complete. Moving back over to our town square, it's really important to me that even though this is going to be a very small town, that I do provide all of the services that the citizens would need. I don't want them to have to drive to an adjoining town. I want them to be able to have everything that they need right here that they could easily, walk to or easily take public transportation. Although with this size of a town, I don't think we're really going to have public transportation. It's going to be very walkable and very small. I did grab this craft beer market, which I've used once before a long time ago, and I love this asset. It is absolutely perfect for the aesthetic of this project. I can imagine coming here to have hot apple cider on a crisp fall day. Oh yes, there is the back side of this building has this little deck out back. We've got to make sure that they can get a good water view. If you were coming here, you definitely want to be able to see the water. I think we can make that happen if we do it this way, and we can clear out some of these trees and make room for a view. I think that'll end up looking really nice. And I just want to say how incredibly grateful I am for Mr. Mason. He has the most beautiful selection of trees, and I just love that I am able to create my own little fall escape The reason I wanted to do this build is just because it's my favorite season, and I've always done pretty much vanilla building in Cities Skylines One. I've never really dipped in too much into mods and assets, and even this series is going to be pretty light compared to others, but I'm just excited to build something that brings me personally a lot of joy. And as I was just saying, I typically play vanilla. I've only used plopper twice. It is great though. You can select what buildings you want and just put them down, and that gets me really excited, especially when you're building a small town like this, because you want to make sure you have a few restaurants, you have a grocery store, you want to make sure you have things like a salon, that's really important, a little pub, things like that. Like, you really want to curate to make sure that your citizens have a good variety of things right in town that they can walk to, shopping, entertainment. And so by using the plopper, I don't have to worry about zoning or what buildings can sit next to what. I can just use my imagination and really build a place that is very people-centered, people first, and make sure that they have everything that they would need within this small town, which for me just gets me really excited about this project. I've just never played like this in a big project. The only time I've used plopper is in some multiplayer type projects. So this is really exciting for me and something that's new and different, and I hope that you guys come along for this ride, because it's going to be new and different for me, and I'm just going to be able to build this place that's going to bring me joy and make me feel good. Again, I love fall. It's my favorite time of year, and I've never really built a project like this that is very fall themed. I'm still in my honeymoon phase of Cities Skylines One. I only started playing in 2021, so the game is still very new to me. I'm still learning things, so that's why I'm excited to continue to build in Cities Skylines One and just create Cider River with you. So I hope you guys are along for the ride. I'm really loving how this town square started to come together. Again, by being able to use the buildings I wanted to use, I was able to make sure that the people who lived here really had everything they wanted. And again, I just loved using all of Mr. Mason's beautiful fall trees and plants and bushes, and I can just really create the aesthetic, the feeling that I want, that just reminds me of my favorite time of year. I really wanted to bring in some historical looking homes as if they had been there since the very beginning on the main street, and maybe some of them had been turned into offices or other little commercial shops, maybe clothing or things like that over the time. And who knows, maybe some of them are still lived in by residents, maybe some little rental units or things like that. But I really like the idea of just kind of filling out this rest of the area with these more historical looking homes on this side of the street of the church, and I think it turned out really nice. Along the back side of the street, I decided to give these few historical homes up front a little bit of a backyard using some fencing and landscaping, and then I just brought in some more historical homes along the back side of this road and lots of beautiful fall trees from Mr. Mason. And I really enjoy building in this slow fashion. You see, I haven't even paused the game yet. I just love the idea of taking my time, designing the space, using landscaping, getting everything kind of set up for the citizens before they even move in. And that is one thing I'll say that I really am enjoying about Cities Skylines 2 so far, is you do have a good amount of budget in the beginning that you can actually plan and do a road layout and get a lot of a bit of your infrastructure put in, kind of make more of a plan in place in the vanilla mode before you even have to press play and move your citizens in. So I am really appreciating that. But I do love in Cities Skylines 1 with a few mods, we can really pretty much create whatever we want to, which I'm just having so much fun. I've never really played in kind of this true sandbox mode, this true freedom mode, and it's just so much fun. And now I understand why people love it so much. And I think it's just, you know, as you spend more time with the game, you kind of fall deeper down the rabbit hole. And I think I've definitely taken my next step down the Cities Skylines 1 rabbit hole. But I feel like it's a good time to do that, because with Cities Skylines 2, at least until we have all of our lovely mods and assets from the wonderful community, we're all going to be vanilla for a while, and that's really exciting too. So I think it's a good time to start a new project in Cities Skylines 1 and just kind of do this more creative freedom type building alongside of whatever project I decide to do in Cities Skylines 2, which I hope is continuing the city I started. I really like the map that I started on. I like what I've done so far. It's been really fun. So I'm hoping that I can continue that city and just move forward on the project and basically make a new version of my 15-minute city. I really can't believe I just made this. I am obsessed with these fall trees. I love the colors. I think this town is looking so cute. I'm so happy with it. I'm just having so much fun. This really feels a bit like a new game to me, because I just haven't played in this kind of way before with this much freedom outside of a few projects, and I get it. I totally get it, and this is just making me so happy. I just kind of have the freedom to do what I want. So I'm having a blast. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. First of all, what do you think about me starting a Cities Skylines 1 project when we're about to have Cities Skylines 2? Is this a bad idea? You guys will have to let me know what you think. And I've gone ahead and named this town the River's Edge because we're on the very edge of the map, but I would love your name suggestions as well. If you have any name suggestions, any fall-inspired names are welcome, but any names really are very welcome. And I'm just excited for those of you who want to come on this little journey with me of kind of playing outside of vanilla and just kind of exploring the game in this new way. So hopefully you're along for the ride. And then of course, I'm just really excited for Cities Skylines 2. I've been having so much fun playing that game, and it's actually made me appreciate this game more. And when I'm playing in this game, it makes me appreciate Cities Skylines 2. They're just, I don't see them as like a sequel to the other. They're just very different games, and they have a different type of enjoyment. I love detailing, I love landscaping, I love doing what I'm doing right here, just using landscaping to create a feeling, a vibe, to create a sense of place. I love building places that just feel good, that you want to be in. I like making places that I would want to go. And so I feel like in Cities Skylines 1, you can really do that. There's a lot of creative freedom, and that's because the game has been around so long. We are so spoiled with the amount of mods and assets and just the ability to play full sandbox and do what I'm doing here, which I haven't really done before. This is really exciting for me, and I think this is just going to be a really fun long-term project that I am just so excited for, because I want to build along the whole entire river. I'm just really looking forward to, you know, where we are a year from now in this city. So that's all I'll say. I'm very excited about that. Okay, enough of joy rambling on and on. Let's get back to the build. So I grabbed these parking lots, and luckily with Move It, you can have them sideways like this, which works really well. So I ended up doing them on either side of the train station. And then I also take the same road on either side of the train station and upgrade it to have a road with trees. I decided not to do this on every single road because then it kind of just, it didn't feel as special, and I thought with a small town like this, you wouldn't really see trees on every single road, so I did want to be selective of that. This is another thing I really appreciate about Cities Skylines One, is we have so many options, even in the vanilla game, with different types of trees and bushes, and you can sit here and try them all out. See how they feel at this level. Are they the right tree? This is the tree I ended up going with. I really liked it. So that is one thing that I have found a little frustrating with City Skylines 2, is the landscaping with the trees. I do love the mechanic of trees starting small and growing up. I think it's pretty adorable, actually. So like, there's parts about it that I really appreciate, but from a landscaping perspective, it does make it a bit challenging. You don't have that instant gratification, I guess, you know what I mean? Because you have to wait for it to become a big tree. But you know, that's just one small thing. There's so many things about City Skylines 2 that I absolutely love. That is just, that game is so much fun, but this game is equally as fun. Truly, how I'm looking at this is, now I have 2 amazing games to play, so I have a little variety for my channel. I know that sounds weird because they're both technically, I guess, supposed to be the same game, but they really feel different, and I think I'm gonna really like switching back and forth between the 2, because like I said, one just makes me appreciate the other one for different reasons, and one allows me to do more landscaping, be more creative, have a bit more freedom, and the other one really allows me to see if my concept that I love to build around, which is people first cities, like, are creating spaces that are walkable, that are focused on citizen happiness, really successful. Like, do I actually build a good city? And with the way that City Skylines 2 is set up, I'm going to be able to actually figure that out in a way that I haven't been able to in City Skylines 1, which makes me really excited, actually. So again, it's just going to be a different experience, and I hope you guys are down for the experience of me doing both games side by side and having 2 long-term projects. Cider River is going to be around for a long time. I'm really excited about this project, and whatever my build is in City Skylines 2 will also be a long-term project. So I just wanted to say thank you for everyone who has recently joined the channel. If you have stayed around this long for my rambling video, I hope you've enjoyed the start of Cider River, and I can't wait till next time. So what we're going to be doing next episode is actually really special. I don't want to spoil it because it's something I've actually been working on for quite a while, doing the research on behind the scenes, and it's something I haven't seen anyone do in City Skylines 1 or 2 for that matter. So I'm really excited about it, and that's it. I hope you guys have a joyful day, and I'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.